All right, hello once again. This is Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College. For the past 55, pretty much, videos, I've been going over the book AppInventor2 Create Your Own Android Apps by Wolber, Abelson, Spertus, and Looney. I've decided to do something a little bit different in here, and I wanted to show you this. If you go out to the App Inventor site, and I'll put it up here so you can see it in nice big letters. That's a little too big, but cut it down a little. I can make it a little bigger than that. That should work. All right, so if you go out to the App Inventor site, which is appinventor.mit.edu, you're immediately pushed off to the Explorer. All right. If from the Explorer you go to Teach, one of the things that's there is this Magic8Ball application. And I'm not going to lie to you, I haven't read it. All right. And they have different things that you can download for it. They have an interface for it, etc. My interface isn't going to look much different because I'm going to build this for you. But I haven't looked at their stuff. I've decided I just wanted to make my own. All right. I think they use labels so that, yeah, they do. So that you can go in and they will put information in there for you. Well, I didn't do it like that. Let me show you mine real quick. In fact, I'm going to run it for you. This is like the old Magic8Ball, if you ever had one of these as a kid or played one of them. The idea is I can type in a yes-no question in here. Will I become rich? And I can click submit. Absolutely. Well, that's good. Notice that when I did this, the submit button is grayed out and the reset button is the only one I can choose. And once I click there, now the reset button is grayed out and the submit is the only one I can click. All right. Try that again. Will I become famous? Count on it. Okay, great. So what we have is a pretty simple interface here. Okay, this is an image control. We've got a label here, a text box, 2 buttons, and there's a sound control. So when you put that in, you hear the sound. All right? Just like the real life Magic8Ball, so to speak, nothing is guaranteed. So we've got our screen, an image. All right, we've got a label Ask Questions where it says ask your question below, the text box right there, a horizontal arrangement, which I put the 2 buttons. Now, not the best arrangement maybe, but it's the one that I used. Okay? And I'm going to build this for you. Or we're going to build this. Hopefully you're following along. And I'm going to start a new project. And I'm going to call it Jeff's Magic8Ball. All right, so I'm going to start a brand new project here. And I want to show you the other thing that I did here was I went out to Google Images. And I keyed in Magic8Ball answers. And there's a lot of them that you get back. But I kind of gravitated toward this one right here. You notice there's 15 answers. Yes, no, it will pass. Count on it. Maybe. You're hot. Ask again. No doubt. Absolutely. Go for it. Wait for it. Not now. Cannot tell now. Very likely. And it is okay. These may not have been the best, but there was a good number. So I grabbed this document, and there's probably a better way to do this, Photoshop or whatever, but I went into Paint, and I cut out each of the 15. So what I have in here, amongst other things, these are my images. So those are the 15 that I just showed you. This is the initial image right here. All right. And the only thing that I grabbed from the actual App Inventor thing I showed you was the sound of ta-da. That's it. So again, I'm going to start building this, and in the first part and the rest of this tape, I'm going to build the interface. All right, and after we get done with the interface, because we're already at, what, 5 minutes. So that's a start at least. And then we'll talk about and think about what we should start doing. So the first thing I want to do is I want to come out into the, what is it, media? No. Drawing? No. Yeah. No. Well, I'm going to need a sound component. So let's just drag that out there, and that'll go into our non-visible components right at the start. All right. There it is, under user interface. I want an image. And I named that image Magic8Ball. Didn't really have to rename it, but because there's only one of them. So that's renamed. I'm not going to rename the sound component. All right. And I am going to associate a picture, but I have to upload it first. And I'm going to eventually upload all of these pictures, but I'm not going to, I'll do that off-site, so to speak. So right now I'm going to bring up that 0.ping. All right, and I'm going to associate that. Okay, so there's a start. All right, and let's go in and let's make the width fill parent. All right, it's a little more centered, looks a little nicer in my humble opinion. All right, we need a label underneath this, and that label, I'll make the text nice and big, so let's make a 20-point font and let's bold it, and let's make the width again fill parent, and the text here is going to say, ask your question below. There it is, and let's center that on the page. All right, looks pretty good. After that, let's bring in a text box. In fact, before we do that, let's go back to our label and let's rename our label. And we'll call this label ask question. Label ask question, we'll even put it in a below there. Label ask question below. All right, we're at our text box. We're again going to make the width of that fill parent. And we'll call this what? This is where we're going to put our question. So we'll call it text box question. All right. And that should be fine. Let's make the font a little bit bigger so again it's easier to read. 18-point bolded. And let's make the height on this just a little bit bigger. So it's not fill parent, but not percentage. Oh, let's see. What if we made it 30 pixels? How about 40? 45 pixels. There, that's a little bit wider. That looks nicer. Finally, let's put in a horizontal arrangement. Didn't have to do this, but I just decided to. So there's our horizontal arrangement. We're going to set the width to fill parent as we have been. We'll even set the height to fill parent so it takes up the rest of the screen. All right. And inside, we're not going to change. I don't like to rename my horizontal components, my components like that, or my sound things, unless I have a lot of them. So I'm going to put in two buttons here. There's the first button, and there's the second button. All right, first button is going to say submit. So why don't we just call it button submit? All right, the text we'll put on there is submit. Let's see, the width, we're going to make it percentage. We'll make it 48%. So it makes it bigger. Let's again dink with a size. So we'll make it 18-point bolded. So that looks pretty good. Now let's go to our second button, and that one will say reset. So we'll call it button reset. All right. We'll again come in here and we'll make the width 48%. We'll again make the font size 18. We will bold it, and we will put the text in there, reset. All right, that's pretty much it for our interface. Okay, now, if I do come in right now to the emulator, this is what it looks like. It's not fantastic, but it's okay. All right, it looks okay. All right, so we're going to build on that, and what we'll start doing is in the next video, we'll start thinking about what kind of code we want to put in and where we want to put it. Now, while I'm producing this video, I'm going to go in and I'm going to grab those other 15 images and I'm going to bring them in so I don't have to do that while this is taping. The only thing I'm just going to tell you is, again, I will be coming in and doing this. This is something everyone should be able to do by now. So I'm going to upload file, choose file, one ping, okay. And I'm going to do that then for the other 14 as well, and you can see it's right here. So I'll be back shortly to start Lecture 2, and I'll have those videos loaded at that time.